Nobody expected the search for the next Lionel Messi to become almost as exciting as football itself. Every season, a new teenager is given the impossible label. Fans rush to social media, scouts fill stadiums, and headlines declare that football has found its next genius. Most of those wonderkids quietly disappear from the spotlight, unable to carry the weight of expectations. But every once in a while, a player appears whose talent makes even the toughest critics stop and watch. Today, one young footballer is creating exactly that kind of excitement, and many believe the next Lionel Messi is already playing football. Welcome back to GameBlueprint. Today we're diving into one of the biggest debates in modern football. Is there really another Messi? Can football produce someone capable of reaching the incredible standards set by one of the greatest players in history? Or are fans simply chasing a dream that can never be repeated? By the end of this story, you'll understand why one teenager has captured the imagination of the football world and why so many believe we're witnessing the beginning of another extraordinary career. Lionel Messi didn't simply become a great footballer. He changed the way people understood the game. His close control, impossible dribbling, lightning-fast decisions, and incredible consistency made him seem almost unstoppable. Winning multiple Ballon d'Or awards, countless league titles, Champions League trophies, and finally lifting the FIFA World Cup transformed him into more than just a footballer. He became the standard by which every young attacking player is judged. That is exactly why being called the next Messi is often more of a burden than a compliment. For years, football has seen countless players receive that famous nickname. Some possessed dazzling skills, others dominated youth tournaments, while a few even looked destined to become global superstars. Yet almost all of them struggled to match the impossible expectations. Some were affected by injuries. Others couldn't adapt to the highest level. A few simply lost confidence under the constant pressure. That history has made fans skeptical whenever another teenager is introduced as football's next great phenomenon. But that was only the beginning. Over the last couple of years, one name has started appearing everywhere. Coaches praise him. Former players admire him. Journalists compare his style to Messi's. Fans can't stop watching highlight videos. That player is Lamine Yamal. Even before turning 18, he was already breaking records that many professionals spend an entire career chasing. Born in Spain, Yamal joined Barcelona's famous Masia academy at a very young age. This is the same academy that produced legends like Lionel Messi, Xavi, Andres Iniesta, and countless other world-class footballers. Growing up in an environment built around technical excellence helped shape his game from the beginning. Coaches quickly noticed that he possessed something special. His first touch looked effortless. His vision was exceptional. Most importantly, he never seemed afraid to take on defenders much older than himself. What happened next changed everything. Barcelona's first team found itself searching for young players capable of restoring the club's identity. Financial difficulties meant expensive transfers were no longer the solution. Instead, the club looked back toward La Masia. When Yamal was finally given his opportunity, many expected him to need time to adjust. Instead, he played with the confidence of an experienced professional. Watching him on the pitch immediately reminded people of another left-footed genius. Starting from the right wing, he loved cutting inside onto his stronger foot. His balance allowed him to glide past defenders rather than simply outrun them. His decision-making looked far beyond his age. Rather than forcing spectacular plays, he often chose the smartest option. That maturity surprised everyone. Nobody saw this coming. The comparisons with Messi quickly became impossible to ignore. Both players emerged from Barcelona's academy. Both preferred operating from the right side while cutting inside. Both relied on close control instead of physical strength. Both displayed incredible composure under pressure. Even their ability to attract multiple defenders before creating space for teammates seemed strangely familiar. However, the story didn't end there. Comparisons can sometimes hide what makes a player unique. While Messi developed into perhaps the greatest dribbler football has ever seen, Yamal possesses qualities that belong entirely to him. His crossing ability is already exceptional. He regularly delivers dangerous balls into the penalty area with remarkable precision. His passing range is outstanding, allowing him to switch play or break defensive lines with ease. Instead of trying to imitate Messi, he appears to be building his own football identity. That difference could prove extremely important. Football has changed dramatically over the last decade. Modern defenders are faster, stronger, and tactically smarter than ever before. Pressing systems demand greater defensive contribution from attackers. Wide players must create chances while also tracking back. Success today requires a more complete skill set than ever before, and Yamal seems perfectly suited to this modern style of football. Things were about to get even more impressive. Representing Spain at such a young age would already have been an incredible achievement. Instead, Yamal began breaking international records almost immediately. He became one of the youngest players ever to represent the national team and quickly demonstrated that age meant very little when talent reached this level. Playing against experienced international defenders never appeared to intimidate him. If anything, he seemed to enjoy the challenge. As major tournaments approached, many expected managers to protect such a young player by limiting his minutes. Instead, his performances made him impossible to leave out. Every match increased his confidence. Every assist, every successful dribble, and every intelligent pass strengthened the growing belief that football was witnessing the arrival of its next global superstar. The real surprise came later. Pressure affects every young footballer differently. Social media magnifies every mistake. One poor performance can generate thousands of negative comments within minutes. Expectations become impossible to escape. For someone constantly compared to Lionel Messi, that pressure multiplies dramatically. Yet Yamal has continued playing with remarkable freedom. He smiles during matches. He attempts difficult skills. He accepts responsibility during important moments. Those qualities cannot easily be taught. Barcelona's tactical system has also helped his development. Rather than placing the entire creative burden on his shoulders, experienced teammates have allowed him to express himself naturally. Managers have gradually increased his responsibilities instead of rushing his progress. This careful approach could make all the difference over the coming years. However, football history offers an important warning. Talent alone has never guaranteed greatness. Some of the most gifted youngsters ever seen disappeared because of injuries. Others struggled with confidence. Some made poor career decisions. A few simply couldn't maintain the hunger required to improve every season. The gap between becoming a wonderful player and becoming Lionel Messi is enormous. Messi himself spent nearly 2 decades performing at an almost impossible level. Season after season, he delivered goals, assists, trophies, and unforgettable moments. Maintaining that consistency required incredible discipline, physical preparation, and mental strength. That may be the hardest challenge facing any young footballer today. But that was only part of the story. Yamal appears to understand that comparisons can become dangerous. Instead of talking about replacing Messi, he has repeatedly shown respect for the legend while focusing on his own journey. That mindset could protect him from unrealistic expectations. Rather than chasing another player's legacy, he is creating his own. Fans also play a major role in this story. Football supporters naturally love discovering new heroes. Every generation wants its own icon. The excitement surrounding Yamal reflects not only his ability but also football's endless desire for fresh stars capable of inspiring millions around the world. Statistics already suggest that this excitement is justified. At an age when many players are still competing in youth football, Yamal has contributed goals and assists at the highest level, played in major competitions, and consistently influenced matches against elite opposition. More importantly, his performances pass what many scouts call the eye test. Even without looking at numbers, you can see the extraordinary confidence, intelligence, and creativity every time he touches the ball. What happened next could define an entire generation. As experienced superstars gradually move toward the final chapters of their careers, football needs new faces capable of carrying the sport forward. Players like Jude Bellingham, Jamal Musiala, Pedri, Florian Wirtz, and several other young talents represent the future. Yet among all these incredible prospects, Yamal continues attracting unique attention because his style reminds people of one of football's greatest icons. Still, perhaps asking whether he is the next Messi is the wrong question altogether. Maybe football doesn't need another Lionel Messi. Maybe what it needs is the first Lamine Yamal. Every legendary player became unforgettable by offering something original. Pelé wasn't the next anyone. Diego Maradona wasn't trying to copy previous legends. Cristiano Ronaldo created his own path. Messi transformed football through his own unique brilliance. Greatness is built through individuality, not imitation. If Yamal continues developing with patience, avoids major injuries, and maintains his remarkable attitude, he has every opportunity to become one of football's defining players for the next decade. Whether he ultimately reaches Messi's extraordinary achievements remains impossible to predict. Those standards are among the highest in sporting history. But judging from everything we've seen so far, the excitement surrounding him is based on far more than hype. Perhaps years from now, fans will look back at these early matches and realize